إلهي لست للفردوس أهلا ولا أقوى على النار الجحيم.
The Prophet said sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, the Dajjal, the age of Dajjal or the Antichrist would also be the age of Riba. Today the whole world, the economy around the world is in the grip of Riba, or used to be. But notice that the modern Riba economy originated from Britain. It is the Bank of England, which was established at the end of the 17th century. The Bank of England, which began the effort, which spearheaded the effort for the establishment of today's modern Riba economy. Not only through lending and borrowing and interest, Britain became the money lender of the world. But more than that, to substitute real money with paper money. It is Britain whose Bank of England at the end of the 17th century who began to issue the first paper currency. And once you begin to issue paper currency, your capacity for establishing a riba economy is now tremendously enhanced. The Prophet said sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam about Dajjal. He said that the earth would yield its treasures to Dajjal. Now, go back home and study British history, as I am doing now, and you would see that the scientific and technological revolution was led by the island of Britain at every significant step. The earth would yield its treasures to Dajjal. Last year, my wife and I visited the city of Kimberley in South Africa. Kimberley is famous for its diamonds, the Kimberley diamonds. Somewhere around the middle of the 19th century, a little African child was playing and discovered a stone which was sparkling. The child took the stone back to his father. The father took the stone to the European Commissioner. The European Commissioner sent the stones to Johannesburg. And when they examined the stone, they found that it was one of the biggest diamonds that had ever been discovered. And that was the trigger that now led to the exploration for diamond and gold in southern Africa. But it was British technology at work to discover the diamond veins down deep down in the earth. Without that British technology, you could not have done it. And then they began to dig these huge man-made holes. And in Kimberley, we saw the biggest one of all. My wife and I stood at the edge of this big hole. You could put a couple of aircraft down inside there. And way down at the bottom of the hole, way down deep inside the earth, they went and they mined the diamonds. Out of that Kimberley diamond mine, they extracted, a wheelbarrow? Well, there were 5 wheelbarrows at the side of the mine there, and they were filled with plastic nuggets. And this was meant to show us how many diamonds were mined at Kimberley before the mine was closed down in 1940. All of that effort of digging this big hole in order to get 5 wheelbarrows filled of diamonds. In 1914, the stage was set. The Zionist movement had taken control of the diamond mines, South Africa, and used a man named Cecil John Rhodes as a front man. The Rothschild Bank of Europe, Jewish bank, financed it. And they were able to harvest all those diamonds and use the sale of those diamonds to build up a war chest. So by 1914, they could close it down. I want you to recognize that Britain was the leader of the world in the technology which led to all of this. The Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, the Dajjal, the age of Dajjal or the Antichrist would also be the age of Riba. Riba, one form of Riba, is borrowing and lending money on interest. But another form of riba is a transaction based on deception, which yields a profit or a gain to which one is not justly entitled. In other words, what the Americans call a rip-off. Today, the whole world, the economy around the world is in the grip of riba or usury. But notice that the modern riba economy originated from Britain. It is the Bank of England, which was established at the end of the 17th century. The Bank of England, which began the effort, which spearheaded the effort for the establishment of today's modern riba economy. Not only through lending and borrowing on interest, Britain became the money lender of the world. But more than that, to substitute real money with paper money. It is Britain whose Bank of England at the end of the 17th century who began to issue the first paper currency. And once you begin to issue paper currency, your capacity for establishing a riba economy is now tremendously enhanced. I present all of this information to you to argue the case that the island in the hadith of Tamim al-Dari is the island of Britain. We now turn to another symbol. Dajjal will have a mountain of bread. The artist is at work already out there. What can I do with this mountain of bread? Will it be the sliced bread? Or will it be the roti naan? Dajjal will have a mountain of bread. And there are those who will follow him. knowing that he is Dajjal, but they follow him for his bread. A mountain of bread symbolizes wealth, doesn't it? So he's going to accumulate such an enormous amount of wealth. The large numbers of people are going to follow him just for his wealth. And in the process of following him for his wealth, they worship him instead of Allah. And they go into the hellfire. I wonder how is he going to accumulate all that wealth? The Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, that the age of Dajjal would be the age of kathratul riba, meaning that in the age of Dajjal there will be the prevalence of riba. What is riba? And how does riba deliver bread? Roti naan. How? I'll tell you how. One form of riba is borrowing and lending money on interest. And then Dajjal has another means, also riba, through which to get more bread. What he does is that he replaces real money, dinar and dirham. Here we are, dinar and dirham, which is in the Quran, which is in the Sunnah, which is money which has its value inside the money. He takes that out of the market. He uses the International Monetary Fund to make it haram, to use gold as money. And after Dajjal took the dinar and dirham out of the market, he then replaced it with bogus and fraudulent and utterly haram paper currencies. Those who follow Dajjal, all that they have to do is to get a printing press and get paper and get ink, and they can print as much money as they want. And they can use that money to buy anything in the world they want to buy, free of charge. If there's anyone who wants to challenge me on that statement, I'll be delighted to take the challenge, because I've studied my subject. I know what I'm talking about. It's free. You just have to print the paper. So that's a lot of bread, eh? And they're printing the paper like mad now. The banks are in problems, so they give this bank 7 billion. And they give that bank 10 billion. The Dajjal has given us a monetary system which is unjust and is ripping us off. And so his mountain of bread is constantly increasing. Who is to be blamed for this? Answer: the one-eyed people who have eyes and yet cannot see. Amongst them, who have the greatest blame of all? Answer: the scholars of Islam. The scholars of Islam have failed miserably, colossally. And that is why we are in the mess in which we are now. And because I speak these words, there are so many masajid, they don't want Imran Hosein.